share with you a Persian recipe called Khoresht Aloo Esfenaj, which is a stew made with spinach and dried plums. Now there are two different types of plums that you can use in this khoresht. You can use the readily available dark purple prunes, which you can find in most supermarkets, or you can use the Persian dried golden plums, which are really nice and tart and really delicious, and they just plump up so nicely in this dish. So one is sweeter, one is tartar, so it's just up to you and what your preference is. So let's get into the ingredients. For the ingredients, I have 1 large chicken breast cubed into about 1-inch pieces. Of course, you can use beef or lamb, about 3/4 of a pound, cut into about 1-inch pieces. Here I have 1 medium onion chopped. This is 8 tablespoons of oil, and I will be dividing this oil into 3 parts. 3 tablespoons will be for the spinach, 4 tablespoons will be for the onions, and 1 tablespoon will be for the khoresht. Here I have 3/4 of a cup of dried golden plums, which are called aloo zard. And they're really nice and tart, and they're small, and they're just so delicious. And of course, you can use 3/4 of a cup to a cup of pitted prunes, the regular dark purple ones, if you cannot find the aloo zard. Here I have 4 tablespoons of freshly squeezed lemon juice. I'm going to start out with 4 tablespoons, and of course I may adjust the amount during cooking, just depending on my taste, and I suggest you do that as well. Here I have 1 teaspoon of salt and 1.5 teaspoons of pepper. Again, these 2 ingredients will be based on your taste. I have 1.5 teaspoons of turmeric, and you will need 6 cups of water. Of course, this is only about a cup, but you will need a total of 6 cups. Here I have 1.5 pounds of spinach, which I have thoroughly washed, and I will be putting this into a food processor to speed up the chopping. Alright, so we've gone over the ingredients, so let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to take a handful of spinach. One day I will buy a bigger food processor. Maybe when this one finally breaks down, maybe. So I'm just going to go bit by bit. And now I'm going to process. It's a lot better off if you don't have it wet. So I'm just going to continue doing this until all of the spinach is finely minced. So now my heat, I'm using the small eye on my stove. So now I'm going to turn my heat to about medium high, and I'm going to add in the chopped spinach. I'm also going to add in just a pinch of salt. Well, 2 pinches. And I'm going to cook this for about 10 to 15 minutes until most of the water in the spinach is gone. And you do want to make sure that you stir this occasionally to prevent it from burning. Okay, so now that the majority of all the water is gone, I'm going to add in the oil. I added about 2.5 tablespoons, not 3 tablespoons. And now I'm going to fry this for 5 minutes. So I have fried the spinach for 5 minutes. Now I'm just going to set this aside and prepare my other ingredients. In this pot, I've added the 4 tablespoons of oil plus the 1 onion. My heat is on medium-high, and I'm going to cook the onions until they turn golden brown, which will take anywhere from 8 to 10, possibly 12 minutes. My onions are nice and brown, so now I'm going to add in the turmeric. And I'm going to stir that together for about 1 minute. Okay, so I have fried the onions with the turmeric for about 1 minute, and now I'm going to add in the chicken. I'm I'm going to fry that for 2 minutes. And I'm going to add in the spinach. And the salt and pepper, the lemon juice, stir that together, and I'm going to add in the water. This is 4 cups. And 2 cups. So you also want to add in the aloos. So I'm going to add that in very carefully. Stir that around. My heat is slightly higher than medium, and now I'm going to cover this with a lid. And I'm going to cook this for 20 minutes. Okay, so it's been 20 minutes. And I'm going to taste and adjust my seasonings. Okay, so I feel as though this might need a little more lemon juice, so I'm going to add in 2 additional tablespoons. As well as half a teaspoon of salt. And half a teaspoon of pepper. And you can see that the aloo zards are beginning to plump up, which is nice. Okay, so I'm going to taste this again. And the best way to taste if you're cooking for someone else or if other people are going to be eating is to put it in a smaller container and then just taste it from there. Okay, maybe 1 more tablespoon of lemon juice. I'm also going to add in the additional 1 tablespoon of oil. So now I'm going to turn my heat down to medium, and I'm going to cover this with a slightly cracked lid, and I'm going to cook this for 15 minutes. Okay, so it's been 15 minutes. Now I'm going to give this another little stir. I'm also going to taste it again. Okay, so it's still good. Now I'm going to turn my heat down to medium-low. I'm going to still keep that slightly cracked lid. I'm going to let this cook for another 15 minutes. And the reason why I keep turning down the heat, it's so that the ingredients can begin to slowly incorporate themselves together. So you have this nice little melody of flavors. And by starting on a high temperature and then slowly working it down, you know, you're concentrating it, but at the same time, you are allowing the flavors to come together. So now it has been 15 minutes on medium-low. I'm going to give it a little stir. Now what I'm going to do is turn my heat to low. And I'm going to cook this for about 30 to 40 minutes, or just until it has thickened. Okay, so I cooked mine for about 25 minutes. Let me move this over here. And And so now it is nice and thick. So this is now ready to go into a serving bowl. I'd like to thank you for watching Cooking with Marki. I hope that you try this Khoresht Aloo Esfenaj recipe. I hope that you share it with someone. And until next time, Nishijun and Khadafes.